Yeah, Lashish, it seems like we can't stop talking about him. Obviously, he's trying to monopolize boxing, right? Right now, he has DAZN, has Top Rank, allegedly trying to get PBC, right? But in the midst of all of that, he's saying he's going to give us the grudge match that we've been waiting for before it was a grudge match, when it was a glamour fight. But now, after so many losses between both of them, I want to say, I don't know, maybe seven losses between both of them. That's just quick math. But I'm talking about Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. Turkey said he's going to give it to us. It's like, do we still want that fight? One. Two, is it still a main event fight, or is that a kind of fight that you put on the undercard of something to really get people pumped before the main event? What's your thoughts there?
It's, to me, I don't think it's a main event fight, bro. Like where they're at in their careers, I don't think it's a main event fight. It's definitely undercard fight, entertaining undercard fight for sure. You know, if you're just going based off of their names, you can probably make the argument, but I'm talking about based off of who they are as boxers right now. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. They're definitely not a main event fight. Definitely probably, you know, right before the main event card, maybe you can argue, you know, or just
co-main.
You said what?
Co-main?
Oh, I wouldn't even say co-main. I would say definitely like probably even under that, you know, especially if Turkey. And the reason why I say that, right, is we're not, if it was a traditional PBC card, then yes. But if we're talking about the Turki Al-Sheikh card, absolutely not, because he brings us bangers, and I'm pretty sure he can provide us with a card with fighters that's gonna give us a better fight than those two, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. No, I get what you're saying. Name wise, I think they're gonna have to be a main event, because honestly, you put those two together, they're gonna outsell the main event. But when you talk about quality of who they are right now, I agree. They probably, but however, I would probably have them as a co-main, right? Because that's still a big fight, still gonna put butts in seats. People are gonna want to see it, bro. The names are just too big. It's been boiling for too long, but still, at some point, as it was boiling and simmering, people still wanted that. You know what I mean? So it's just too much to completely overlook. I don't think it should be a main event, though. I'm in agreement there, but I definitely would put that fight as a co-main. Mm-hmm. Hey, I would still like to see it. Both coming off of losses, both looking vulnerable, but it could still be fireworks, man. And I still know who I lean towards in that fight. So, but based on what you saw last, who would you pick to win that fight?
Anthony Joshua is over. Because the thing that made Deontay Wilder just so devastating before is no longer there now. He wasn't the most.
But before you go on further, he is on record of saying he had an injury that he didn't even know he had. So I think I think it's in his shoulder or something. So I think he's working on healing that injury, which could have been preventing that devastating right hand.
It's over, bro. What about Joseph Parker? No, bro. He's done, bro. He's just looking worse and worse. So this is, if you're talking about them at their peak, I think Deontay Wilder would have destroyed Anthony Joshua, right? Because I felt like Anthony Joshua just was vulnerable. He never had a great chin, right? It's heavyweight division, right? But I felt like he would have, what he did to Tyson Fury, knocking him down, I don't think Joshua would have been able to recover that way, right? And then in terms of peak physical ability then, in terms of how fast he moved, his footwork, like in terms, when I say footwork, in terms of how quickly he moved, then Deontay Wilder was at his peak, but over the years, you can see he just looks so off. You can look at his legs, and he don't have no legs under him no more. And it's over. If you don't have no legs under you, you only have power, it's not going to get you but so far, you know. And I see more of AJ, you know, even with that last fight, he had Dubois hurt. You know what I mean? He just ended up running into a devastating punch that kind of put him down.
Yeah. So when you talk about their peaks, let me ask you this. If AJ and Wilder fought, and let's say AJ before he ever fought Ruiz, and Wilder anytime before the second Fury fight,
yeah, he'd have won. I had Wilder.
You would have had Wilder winning that fight.
Absolutely. Because the thing is, I knew Anthony Joshua was a great fighter, but I always seen him as a vulnerable fighter. I didn't see him as the best compared to Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. I always seen. So when he lost to
no, but I'm saying even before he ever fought Ruiz.
Ruiz, this is what I'm saying. Like, even when he ended up going to lose to Reese during that fight, me watching it, I wasn't like shocked by it. You know what I mean? It was upset, but I'm like, oh, you know, I could kind of see him losing. Maybe I just wasn't high on him, right? But let's say before that, I already had Deontay Wilder beating him. You know, I felt like he was the more dangerous fighter. You know, I just felt like eventually he was going to get caught with that right hand because Anthony Joshua's defense is not that great at all. You know, and if we're talking about sheer size in terms of height, reach, Deontay Wilder's going to touch him eventually, you know? So, you know, and I had fighters like King Kong at the time, you know, when King Kong was really, I feel like King Kong was more of a dangerous fight for Deontay Wilder than Anthony Joshua was. You know what I mean? Because he was southpaw. He was just, you know, it's just different factors. But personally, me, I had Deontay Wilder beating Joshua, stopping Joshua before.
Mm.
I know you had it the other way around, you know. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
time changed, and now I'm on the same boat as you.
I've always had Joshua beating Wilder. And I mean, I can see it, right? Because Wilder has the one hitter quitter, right? So at any given moment, he could have beat anybody, right? But I've always thought Joshua was the right combination of size, skill, and power, right? I mean, no, he's not as pure of a boxer as Fury, but I think he punches harder than Fury, but he does have some boxing skill as well, right? So I thought, like where Fury, and I'm particularly thinking after fight one here. We know what happened in the midst of the trilogy, but after fight one, especially when I saw the way Fury outboxed Wilder, and I thought he personally won that fight, I'm like, I can see that from Joshua to a lesser extent, but I can see Joshua putting him down with something. You know what I mean? Because I would watch Wilder, and you mentioned it, King Kong fight, like he's losing that fight, then he just lands something and knocks him out. But I just know Joshua got that pop too, and I could have really seen Joshua outboxing him and putting him down with something big.
Yeah.
And right now, where they're at in their career, I would pick Joshua, and I would pick Joshua by stoppage actually.
Yeah, I got Joshua by stoppage now. Deontay can't move. Like when I look at him, that was the one thing before that you can kind of he was able to move swiftly with his feet to get out the way with certain punches. Like you know how he kind of used that aim. Like before, like if you look at like people watching now, go back and watch Deontay Wilder in his old fights, even Luis Ortiz, King Kong, like prior fights, and then look at him like after his loss to Tyson Fury, and look how he looks. He looks slower with his punches, his foot movement. Like and I think that's the only reason why Deontay Wilder was just so much successful, right? He had the punch. He was a great puncher, right? Like one of the biggest punches we've ever seen. But I think that coupled up with his just physical gifts helped propelled him. You know what I mean? Now, if you take away the physical gifts and you only leave kind of just the power there, you ain't going. And then his chin, now he's kind of chinny. You know what I mean? He was able to take big punches before. We seen him almost get stopped by King Kong at one point. You know what I mean? He was able to weather the storm. Like he got clipped with big punches. He's not is at this point in his career, he's not. All it takes is a boom and it's over. Like, you know what I mean? And he has nothing else to fall back on, So that's just
Yeah.
my point. So I'm on the anti-Joshua boat now. So
It's just crazy because like two guys we've seen, you can possibly say upset these guys. Well, yeah, they were both upsets, right? We seen Joseph Parker beat Deontay Wilder, then we see Daniel Dubois beat Anthony Joshua. Now those guys are facing off, and we still haven't gotten Wilder Joshua. So it's kind of insane. So I can see why Turkey is pushing to make this fight. It's a big money fight, but it's just like like what do they go? Where do they go from there? Somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose. But like, I
yeah,
mean,
they just
Joshua is more realistically the one who can probably try to climb the gauntlet again. But do you think that's gonna happen? No. You know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
I don't know. It really depends on because the thing about Anthony Joshua, bro, he's so popular and the UK fans are so loyal. They're still going to be big on him, right? In comparison to Deontay Wilder, I feel like the heavyweight division is still one of those divisions that people still, they're still entertaining fights because you always see knockouts. But I feel like compared to the Americans here, and the backing that they have with Deontay Wilder, it's kind of not the same. I feel like, the UK fans are more loyal to Anthony Joshua than the American fans are to Deontay Wilder, and I think that goes a long way, especially with generating, ticket sales, et cetera, and then I feel like, in terms of hunger, I feel like Anthony Joshua is more hungry. you know, in the sport of boxing in comparison to Deontay Wilder as well, right? So we'll just have to wait and see. But you know, we'll
Yeah, we
see.
have to wait and see. And I think we're gonna do this topic at a later time. But if I had to ask you, this is just out of pure curiosity, have you
Mhm.
developed any opinion yet on Joseph Parker versus Daniel Dubois? I don't think you're super high on either one of these guys, right? But have you developed an opinion in that fight?
Not really. I am leaning. I'm not gonna lie. I am leaning towards Dubois winning that fight, though. As of right now, as of today, as of this recording, it can change. But I have Dubois winning that fight, even though I probably like Joseph Parker more with
Mhm.
his skill set. But you know me, I just feel like when the skill set is not that far, I'm gonna go with the physical gifts, man. That's just how I operate. I feel like the physical gifts is gonna go a longer way, you know. And I think Dubois is
Mhm.
stronger. He punch harder. You know, he's awkward. You know, so right now I'm leaning towards Dubois. Right now, I don't think Dubois is the best fighter, right? But obviously, far from it. But I think he has enough to definitely beat Joseph Parker. So,
Okay,
what about you?
that's
What
fair because
opinion do you have?
I think, bro, I think that's a really good fight, and I think those were two like fighter of the year candidates. Like just how
It's a
they've been.
close fight, though. It's a very close fight between those two for
It,
sure.
it is a close fight, but I think the KO of Anthony Joshua is kind of swaying people's mind, not thinking it's that close of a fight. If you ask me today, and I still have a lot of tape to watch to make the decision, but if you ask me today, I'm slightly leaning Joseph Parker for the
Okay.
upset.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not bad because Joseph Parker is more skilled. I think he got, but I just can't go again if a person punching, and I think Dubois is punching. I think he hits hard enough, and I feel like that accumulation. It's not like Joseph Parker is like a wizard. You know what I
I
mean?
know,
So
but we
you
talking about
know,
a guy who was able to get up after being put down by Big Bang
like,
Zhang. I think what
dang,
twice in
that's
that
true.
fight,
Yeah, twice. Yeah,
and come.
yeah,
So my guy could take a
that's
punch.
true. He
He
could
could take
take
a
a punch. He could take a punch. I just got Big Bang Zay been putting guys down. I ain't gonna lie. He's been putting guys
yeah,
down. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, so I
big
can't. He could
big
punch.
big. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, we're gonna see what unfolds. But we've asked this question before. I actually hope this is the last time we ask this question. But do you want to see Joshua Wilder? Make sure you jump in the comment section. Make sure you like and subscribe. 2 cents short of $1. More videos coming soon. We apologize for the hiatus, but we're back.